Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today I am in MySewNet Platinum. And last time I did a video on the new PhotoStitch tools, I neglected to leave out the clone tool. So that's what this video is going to cover because it is a very important tool. So let's begin. This is the picture that I will be working with. I often will use the clone tool to mess with the background of a picture if I want to actually stitch the background out. But as you can see on this picture, the one eye on the left, you can barely see, and by the time you spin a photo stitch, you're not going to be able to, you're barely going to be able to see it. So we're going to be working with this picture. And you can go into the PhotoStitch module one of two ways. You can go right into it from the start screen, but I prefer a blank canvas. And I generally will do a photo stitch that is close to 200 by 200 millimeters. Smaller ones, they just don't seem to work for me. And I typically will set my hoop size just a little bit smaller. So in this case, 195 by 195. That way I know I've got room for the photo stitch to stitch out. And the other way to go in there is through the Create module into Photo Stitch. I'm going to Photo Stitch into the hoop. In this instance, I am going to use the color. I'm going to load the picture. And now I'm going to go into Edit Picture. And I'm going to say a couple of things here. I'm going to go into the Paint module to mess with this picture. Some of you may have a screen that looks like this. I know I did for a long time and did not realize that there was a bunch of hidden tools down here in the lower right-hand corner. To get to those tools, you need to go up here next to the redo and undo and say minimize the ribbon. And now you can see there's a whole nother set of tools down here that shows up. All right, enough of that. We are only going to be messing with the clone tool today. So I'm going to use a circle brush, and I am going to set the size of my circle, and in this case I believe we're gonna do a 100. Not sure about that yet. Here is the opacity, sorry, that is the size of the brush, and up here is the opacity or the intensity of the color. Sometimes you may want to not have it at a full color when you are cloning. This is something that you definitely have to work with. And here is the clone tool. And typically you want the soft edges. And if you are unsure of how to use that clone tool, if you click the Help button and then go into Clone, it will tell you how to use it. Okay, so very helpful little menu there. All right, so I'm going to click on the clone tool, and I'm hoping and praying this works. I've got my brush set, so you can see that there's my brush. I left clicked to set it. I moved my brush over here to where I want to put the clone, and I'm going to left click it again, and there is the clone. Okay, if I want to clone the background, so I'm going to do a finish clone, And again, I'm going to do hit the clone tool. I'm going to do a left click, and now I'm gonna come over here, whoops, and start blurring the background. And I can say reset origin point, and I clicked a left click and finish clone, clone, right click, left click, and I just keep doing that until I get the background that I want. It can be really tricky. Right click, finish clone, go click the cloner again, do your left click, and then left click again. And that's how I mess with those backgrounds. Okay, so once you've got the picture the way you want it to be, you go next, and now you can crop it. To the orientation that you want. We are going to just go next here. Saturation, you can mess with, but it's going to add more color. It's going to saturate the color. We are going to, you can save that picture at this point because you have messed with it and you want to save that picture for another time. And I am going to, it says the design size right now is 162 by 195, and that's okay. I'm going to say okay here. And right now we have 20 colors. We can go down and see what it does. And 15 colors isn't too bad. Let's go down a little bit more. 12 colors isn't too bad. And I actually think the one that I saved had 10 colors. And there's one color that I really don't like, so I'm gonna find it over here and I'm gonna say change thread, and I happen to know it's 2297 is gonna get me about where I want to be, and I'm gonna choose 2342, which is a natural white, and then I'm gonna go next. And there is the picture. If you want to go back in with that saved picture and still mess with some of this stuff, you can. Using that paint tool, you could also take and darken the nose. You could take and blend some of this orangey color. But now you can see that you can see those eyes. So let's go back in PhotoStitch into the hoop, color, load. I did not save that picture, but I'm going to go into edit. So again, I am in the paint section. I have all the tools that I want. I covered these tools in my other video, so no, I'm not going to go over that kind of stuff. I saw that in the other picture, some of this white I may want to mess with. So I am going to go and get the clone tool, and I'm going to set it down the brush size, I'm going to do about half. And I'm just going to click it and see what it looks like. And that looks like it's probably going to be okay. And basically what it's cloning is, if you can, see the on the right hand side, there's like a target. That's where it's picking up its clone. So I can say finish clone, and I can go back and get the clone again. Left click sets the what I'm cloning, and I'm going to right click and do finish clone. I can go over here and pick up the clone tool again and left click, and then we're going to kind of drag it to see if we can't get a little bit more orangey there. You could also, in the paint tab, just use the paint brush, and you would probably pick a color over there using the dropper. And I personally would set that color intensity back, and I would probably use a smaller brush, and I might even do a very soft circle. Need to go back and get my paintbrush. And I'm left clicking, and I'm kind of just painting with that brush. And if you need to change the color, you can do that. And go back and get the paintbrush. And you can blend things that way. Okay. So, we're going to go next. And we're going to go crop. And I'm going to get rid of a lot of that background. And next. And next. And I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with that. We're going to say okay. We've got 12 colors. I'm going to go back to 10 and say apply. And I really have no idea how this is going to turn out. And PhotoStitch is one of those things that you will do over and over until you get it right, until you have an effect that you like. I'm clicking on that pinkish thread, and I'm going to go change thread. And again, I'm going to do 2297 because I know that that natural white is down in that area. And I'm going to say next. And I basically just keep playing with this until I get the effect that I want. I still have some of the white up here. I can actually go into Stitch Editor and change some of that. It gets a little delicate, but it can be done. So I'm going to say finish, and there's the finished product. After I was messing with this one, I'm going to open, and I'm going to see if I can't find, and I can't remember which one it is. I think it's this one. So this is the one that I was actually going to choose to stitch out. Okay, so that's how you use that clone tool. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you totally hated this video, and leave a comment, and catch you later. Bye.